Last Our last satsang was very helpful for me. We were talking about shame. um, and if it's all right with the group, I had a follow up about it. You said before that something to the effect of. Sorry, one second. You said before my video seems to be going off, but I'm just going to continue. That something to the effect of shameful action stems from one who's seeing behind the lens of shame, or only one who is shameful engaged in, or has shame engages in shameful action. And the question is, how does seeing from behind the lens of shame compel one to engage in shameful action? What's the link there? And this is like an ongoing inquiry for me. I can't understand like why just because someone would be seeing behind that lens, they would then be compelled to engage in shameful action. And also, how does it relate to objectification in the general sense of the word, meaning holding oneself as subject and everything else as object?
Yeah, it's right at the heart of it. So perhaps you'll allow me to just say it like this, that from the seed of shame, what grows is of shame. I don't know theologically, but my gut sense is this is what's meant by original sin. And the sense of separation that actually invites us karmically, you would say, in a different tradition, into the human birth, in order to experience sin, misunderstanding, karma, avidya, blindness, in order to make our way back to truth. So we're born into this confusion. Okay, so what grows from the seed is of the seed. And so what will grow and emanate from the seed of shame will be shame. And the shame is a particular interpretation, misinterpretation, I will say, of separation. Of having turned outward, turned the attention outward. Turning the attention outward is objectification, yes? So, turned inward to one's own self, there is one as existence, Sat Chit Ananda. Turning now the attention, the focus of attention outward, it seems that now there are two, subject and object. This subject and object now give birth to a third, that gives birth to, mixing all of the traditions, the 10,000 things of Buddhism. The duality, and a sense of you a sense of you that calls itself I, that is in the world. Huh? The emanation of I, somehow imbued with the spark of consciousness, this subject, imbued with the I sense, now is perceiving itself as separate from the world. And it's magical almost, it's a mystery, like how did it forget that at first it was one? And so quickly the attention turns to two as part of two. The subject itself is object on the screen of awareness. But I don't know how, but somehow imbued with the I sense. Complete with the five senses. And somehow a sense of being independent operator in the world. So let's just give it some reference because, it can become a bit confusing. But last night you dreamt, and you and the mind of the sleeper created a version of you. Probably also was called Andrew. And this Andrew, the character in the dream, the hero, the protagonist, is a figment of the mind of the sleeper, isn't it? And what of the world created in the mind of the sleeper also? So there's subject and so many objects. And so the character has this I sense, doesn't it? And operates within the world it perceives. So this is it. And then the world and the I is objectified, you see? It's not like a crime against consciousness. It's not even actually a problem because, is it a sin to dream? No. But being lost, identified as the dream character, as the I sense that is subject, there arises suffering just through the identification. And the suffering itself arises because identifying with subject creates limitation. I and world. World for me, world against me. There's a sense of limitation, and this limitation is itself the ground of suffering. But in the mind of sleeper, what limitation is there? Only the extent of one's own sleeping imagination, let's say. I don't know. In the I sense, the spark of I, now borrowed from the I as the I, the small I, the egoic I, the subject. This one perceives itself, as we said, as in the world and apart from the world, subject, object, and limited. And in, you see it so far? Subject, object, perceiving oneself as subject in the world and limited. Now must, imbued also with desire, a desire to not be limited, primarily, feeling limited, now must begin to navigate and transact. You see? Okay. Spark of the I is imbued, borrowed by subject, operating in a world of objects. As such, is limited, with a desire to not be limited. Of course, we all have this desire to not be limited, constricted, confined, controlled. We're all bucking against this sense of limitation. So in this desire to be unlimited, perceiving limitation, now it begins transacting in the world to get for me and mine. Still, there's no problem yet, right? There's no shame. There's just a play, right? Just like a dream, there's no problem. Row, row, row your boat. Right? So where does the shame come from? Maybe there's good reason for it. Take a look and see. Is there good cause for the shame? Subject perceiving itself in world, objects, traded, we could say, traded the unlimited I for a limited I in order to have experience in time and space, arc of narrative. A play where there's something happening. No problem. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Shakespeare says, much ado about nothing. It's really kind of marvelous. But where does the shame arise from and the sense of suffering? So track it back to the desire to be unlimited, feeling limited. The subject moves out into the world and away from the original I, in a manner of speaking, right? Metaphorically, certainly psychologically. That I sense now venturing into the world of God's creation, God's own dream, and propelled by desire, limited, wanting to be unlimited. You could say turns its back on God in order to move into the world. Just like the prodigal son takes his inheritance, right? And moves out into the world of experience. No, takes the spark of I as a limited I and moves into the world of experience. Maybe there's something, I don't know. Maybe there's some sense of loss, some sense of separation from, as we move out as the subject into the world, of leaving home. And some sense of limitation and a sense of not being enough and now separate and naked in the world. feeling limited, transacting for everything that we get, beg, borrow, steal, earn, even, by merit, even. So it comes from this sense of separation. It comes from this sense of limitation. And from this sense of limitation and separation, we now need to apply what we call my will in order to compete in the world for what also is limited. Limited I, navigating in a world with limited resources, trying to get more and not lose what I have, right? Me and mine.